Captain Dave and Miss Brooke with Simple Plan Trucking. We're coming at you from a truck stop outside of Chicago, Illinois. We have an afternoon and an early morning tomorrow where we have some rare downtime, so we thought we'd take the opportunity to make you a video and get caught up a little bit on what's been going on in our lives. I guess the biggest news that we need to talk about that we haven't discussed in a video is Brooke has upgraded. It's been about 2 weeks now, and she went in, she was called in by our fleet manager, and she had done her 30,000 miles, and we went in on Sunday and she started the upgrade process that Monday morning. What'd you think about that?
I was excited about it. It's not a big change for me because unlike other TNT people who are not with their spouses, they actually would be upgrading and then getting, after their upgrade, they would be getting on the list for their own truck. So I'm already going right back onto our truck. So I didn't have that part of the excitement of upgrading, but it feels good to have accomplished those 30,000 miles. Although we went over a little 30,000 miles before I actually got called in, and I think most people do.
Yeah, and the reason most people spend a little more time out there is because of this truck shortage and waiting to be matched up with a truck. We didn't have that problem. We knew that she was going to stay on this truck with me. So really, I think in our case, it was just looking at the class sizes and finding a spot for her to get in there. It was in on Sunday, and she was done by Tuesday afternoon. It was just 2 days. She had to
moves me from a BC to an AC.
AC driver right? Now, yeah, so. An AC. So the first part was the safety class, which of course is just watching a bunch of videos, which are the same videos that you watch when you go through orientation.
Some of them are the same, some of them are different.
And PSD. And then you did your simulation. Do you want to talk about the simulation?
I flopped at it. I flopped at my backing simulation. Because my trainer hasn't trained me a lot on backing.
Yeah, I have to take responsibility for that. We've talked about it before, and the truth is we were both brand new, and I needed practice in backing more than she did because I really couldn't be an effective trainer when I really didn't know how to do it all that well myself. So, but
your backing has really improved. Like,
yeah,
you still struggle here and there, but
sure. I think everybody does from time to time, and even the pros will tell me just some days the truck doesn't go where you want it to go.
And even you, when you are guiding me on my backing, even that has improved. Our communication has improved.
Right. It is challenging when you're a couple, and if they allow you to change to train your wife or your husband, and you're pretty new yourself. It's been a rough few months, and a lot of bickering, a lot of finger pointing.
Some of those quarrels have gotten loud
and heated, but honestly, I think we're falling into it now, and it's becoming pretty much. We know what to expect and what we're doing out here.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
I think there's always something new and something different, but...
Right. So, I have not put her in a position to do much backing. I've done most of the backing. There's been a few times when we had a real big lot, like at a Walmart DC, and there's not a lot of traffic, where I'll put her behind the wheel and walk her through the backing thing. But the bottom line is you just have to do it. You have to get behind the wheel, and it just becomes, it's practice, it's muscle memory. So she'll get more of it, but again, because our situation is different, she's not getting off of this truck. She's going to be with me. I think we'll all both of us will just naturally fall into the roles of what we want to do and what we're better at. And
I would say if you are a TNT trainer or trainee, get in a lot of backing while you're out there with somebody who knows what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Because the only way to learn how to do it is to do it.
So, Brooke was really stressing about the simulation. I don't know why. It's really a pretty simple backing simulation, but she had to have it reset and did it
It took me 2 times to pass it.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't a big deal. I mean, they give you 2 times to pass it. It's not like a pass or fail kind of thing, but because you get to work on it till you pass it.
But I think you freaked yourself out too. It wasn't as hard as it seemed.
I think that I had a lot of difficulty visualizing. I know you're not supposed to call it a video game, but it's like a video game. It's the only thing you have to compare it to, and it's very different doing it on the simulator than it is doing it out in real life. So I told the teacher that was in there, I said, I'm just used to having my husband out there yelling at me, directing me this way and that way. I said, and I don't have that in here. And so instead of having to kind of second guess myself.
So he yelled at her.
I passed it.
He yelled at her and she passed it.
He did. Yeah, I wasn't going to say that.
So she got through it, and you know, we were done with, she was done with her class on Tuesday, but we ended up staying an extra day to Wednesday because I had broken, we got a broken windshield, a cracked windshield, a rock kicked up and cracked our windshield. And then we found out that when the windshield was replaced, the tech there told me that I needed to take it over to the Freightliner dealership because they don't replace the gasket or the seal around the windshield on the prime lot for whatever reason. So I took it over to Freightliner, and they determined that there was nothing wrong with my gasket, but that my lights up on my marking lights up on the top of the tractor, there was about a ½ inch gap on a couple of them where rainwater had been getting in, and so they sealed those for me, and we shouldn't have any more problems with our electronics. So, which
that's something to check when you're getting your new truck, because when you take a look at that new truck and you decide whether or not you want it, we never thought to like go outside of the truck and look up by the lights and check the seal around the window and look for leaking and stuff like that. So that's something to think about.
Oh yeah, if you come to Prime or you go through the process with any company and you go to inspect your first truck, just be prepared to not have a clue what you're looking at. You know, unless you have some mechanical background or know about trucks, they give you this list, but the truth is on the list, you don't even know what it is you're looking at from half the things that they tell you to check. So
I don't think you know what to look for until you actually have lived on a truck.
Yeah, I'd feel a lot better going through that list right now and know certain things to look for.
Yeah.
Although we feel pretty good about the truck that we got, the problems that we've had have been minor and haven't caused a lot of downtime, but a couple trips in, I went ahead and got a chassis lube, and so we ended up getting out of there on Wednesday, and the work that was done on the truck was all covered by warranty still, so we still don't have any major charges on our truck, knock on wood. We're at about 175,000 miles now. We started 135, so we put on 40,000 miles just since we started at the end of March. So we're doing pretty good. We're rolling right along. We're enjoying it. We've been out now 6 weeks. 6 weeks from when we were at home, and we're going to stay out two more weeks. We typically will not stay. We're not planning to stay out this long, but we did have a goal of a certain amount of revenue that we wanted to make, which keeps us out. Plus, we took a few days off to visit our 2 sons up in Virginia, and that was nice. So we've been basically away from home for 6 weeks now, and we're she keeps saying too long. We're going to go home the second week in July. But let's have some really exciting places, places we've never been.
How about your birthday?
Yeah. So my birthday was last week on Monday, the day after Father's Day. So it was a double whammy for me. And it just worked out that we had a load that had a lot of time on it going from Illinois over to, I believe it was Maine, Massachusetts, Boston area, right?
Oh yeah, you said.
Yeah, Boston.
Mass.
And so we knew that one of the places that we wanted to visit as we do life on the road was Niagara Falls. Neither of us had ever been to Niagara Falls, so I threw it out to Brooke the day before, and I said, hey, let's park the truck at truck stop, get an Uber, and ride over to Niagara Falls for the day. And we did. We had a fabulous time.
It was a great time.
It was beautiful, and I'm gonna put a few of the pictures in here, the things that we saw there. But
it's a nice day. Nice to get out and do some walking, get your feet on the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was a sunny day when he said it, and of course the next day it was cloudy when we were there, but it turned out to be a beautiful day.
Right.
And we only stayed on the American side. We had our passports, but we didn't do the Canadian side, so we'll have to go back and do the Canadian side another day.
Yeah, they say the best views are from the Canadian side at Niagara Falls, but we saw a lot of beautiful views and met some great people, ate some great food. We
got to play tourist for the day.
Yeah, we did a tour that walks down and you stand like the water, the mist from the water blows up and splashes you. And
wind in the caves, or caves
in the wind or something like that, yeah.
We didn't do the boat, and everybody, the Uber guy and some people we talked to were like, you have to do the boat, the something in the mist.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll have to go back and do that next time. It was just too cold.
But so, you know, that's something that we want to really try to do, and we're gonna do. We're gonna figure out how to do it.
Yes,
you have to look for those opportunities when you're going somewhere that passes by something that you want to see, and when you have enough time to do it, just fit it in, make it happen. And we were blessed to have a wonderful day for both Father's Day and my birthday. But we've been a lot of places, mostly centered around the eastern U.S. We haven't been out west on this run at all, really.
No.
Furthest west, I looked back, and the furthest west we've been was Plainview, Texas, which is definitely a plain view. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Very hot, very dusty. But then we worked back east, and we've done a lot around the Ohio, Boston, Pennsylvania, Illinois,
We're in
Virginia.
Ohio a lot.
Yeah, we tend to be in the Ohio area a lot, which is
It's
great.
pretty there.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good freight around this area, so we've been blessed to have some pretty good high-paying loads, and we're doing well financially, and the truck's holding up, and we're just figuring out this whole trucking thing. But it's been so much fun. We're glad to be out here.
We bumped into some of our viewers.
Yeah, met some subscribers to our channel.
Angie and Michael.
Angie and Michael, yeah, we ran into
funny.
friends of ours that we had met before, and then we ran into them in Walmart in Springfield. And he's just brought his wife on, Angie. Now she just went through PSD.
She just finished.
She graduated. She passed her, got her CDL, and now they're
just starting the truck.
Starting their TNT right now. So great people.
She did Pittston though.
Yeah, she did her PSD in Pittston.
She was funny. She was nice. Hi Angie, if you're watching.
Hello. And then you met another friend, I guess, over in.
Oh, someone stopped me the other day when we were in Pittston. Why were we in Pittston?
We were there.
Oh, that was just we had to stop.
Yeah, we had it's
load.
called a way station or a waypoint. We were on a high val load, and we couldn't deliver early, so we had to park the truck for about 12 hours because it's a secure lot in Pittston, and then we continued on and we delivered. But
Brian Hicks.
Yeah, Brian Hicks
stopped me and said hi, and he said he knew David through Eric and JD Transportation. Jacob, yeah.
JD Transportation.
I spent a few minutes talking with Brian. He's super nice. So I think that's the fun part of making these videos, is that people will come up and say hi, and I feel like you make friends through the comments.
Right. Yeah, and our whole thing was, when we started this thing, it was just for two reasons mainly. One, I just think that trucking is a tremendous opportunity for anyone, but specifically for people that may be non-traditional in the fact of their age, or they're married, or whatever reason. Anybody really. It's just a fantastic opportunity, and I wanted to chronicle that, and I wanted to share with you our adventure, and I won't say that it's always easy, but there will be people like Lyle of No Hippie Trucking. It says it's the easiest job he ever had, and I have to agree with that. You know, I've been in the military, I've been in retail management, I've been worked in the federal government, and none of those jobs were as easy as this is. And there are stressors, you know, and there are rough days, and there are times when you don't really feel like driving. But all in all, for what you have to do, the compensation for what you have to do is just tremendous, and really anybody can come out here and do this. You have to be motivated. You trucking has a high washout rate. I hear numbers of maybe 60 to 70% at prime and 90% in the industry in the first year. 90% of the people that come to train as truck drivers will not be doing it 1 year later. And I just have to wonder why that is for so many people. I think that if you kind of know what to expect and do your research, then you won't be surprised when you get out here. Too many people come into it and they don't even realize that it's an over-the-road job and you're not home very often. And
David always reminds me, though, every mile you go, you're making money. So
yeah.
On my tired or whiny days, or I want to go home days, he's like, think of it this way: you're driving 300 miles, and every mile you're making money.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. My brothers, they just say, wow, I would never, I hate driving in my car. And I'm like, yeah, but that's when you're going on a vacation and you're either going somewhere and you're anxious to get there, or you've been somewhere and you're hurrying to get home. But when you're doing this for your job and you're being paid for it, it's a completely different thing.
It's kind of relaxing.
It really is. I mean, being relatively new, the most stressful times for me are getting into shippers and receivers and packing. But even that, it's not terrible.
It's just, when you think about it, it's just backing.
Yeah, you just take your time.
It's not rocket science. There's not that. I mean, there's pressure on you to get in there and get it done, but you're backing a truck. I've got a lot of experience. I mean, I was homemaker most of my life, but in my younger days, of course, I was server because I'm from Kissimmee, Florida, and pretty much the tourist industry is where I got all of my my work resources. But you don't have that pressure of somebody sitting there, waiting on you or being grumpy with you, or I don't know, you're getting $2 tips, $2 and $3 tips, for 45 minutes worth of work. So I think there's a lot to be said for, like David was saying, this is an easy job compared to some of the other jobs that you think would be easy jobs.
Which are much more physical, much more demanding, and dealing with people. I love people, and I love people, but it can tax you. And the majority of this job is just driving the truck and being safe and paying attention. So it's out here, and it's an opportunity for anyone. And we encourage you to do your research. If you've never considered trucking as a career, we'd be happy to talk with you about that. I was just telling Brooke, I'm 9 months into it here. I started last September, coming up on my year from when I went to orientation, and the time has just flown by. And I think Brooke's been here about 4 months now, so it gets better every day. We become more and more comfortable in the position and what we're doing, and there are days when Brooke will say, I miss home, I miss my house, and there are times when I miss it too, but not nearly as much as, hey, we're out here together, we're spending time together, we're doing something productive, and all of this is to put us in a better position for our retirement, which is out there somewhere in the future. We don't know exactly where.
Never, if you have anything.
No. Hey, as I say, keep working as long as you feel good, right? Keep being productive. And that's the other thing. There's a lot of satisfaction that comes from doing something that provides a service that is so needed in our country today. I think truckers a lot of times get a bad rap, or they're not respected. But when you're delivering food to people all around the country, this is something that is very needed, and I take a lot of satisfaction, and I'm proud of what we're doing, and I think we provide a very valuable service. So it is honorable. It's good work, and so I'd encourage you to do that.
You do feel good about what you're doing, because you feel like you're being productive and you're doing some good work. Well, especially having a reefer, because you're bringing food.
Right. And the other thing is, people will say all the time, oh, they're just mean, people are mean to us or rude to us, or they don't treat truckers well. And there are people out there that are unhappy, that will be you know, treat you disrespectfully. But I find that in my experience that if you approach people and you show them respect, or you approach them with a smile on your face, or you are respectful when you're talking with them, you're going to get that back too. And you know, we get doors open for us all the time. We get hellos at the truck stops, and it's not just Brooke either. I mean, we make a lot of friends wherever we go, and really that's the other thing that's about for us, is building relationships and having a network of friends that we call, you know, family. We're out here on the road with each other. We need to support each other, and it feels so good when somebody stops us that recognizes us, or somebody that we've met and we see again down the road, or they contact us, or they call us, or send us an email or a text. That network is growing, and we want to continue to grow that. We want to welcome all of you into that. Prime is a great company. There are other great companies out there, but man, the culture here is just is fabulous. And so
we're happy with Prime.
Yeah, been no surprises, none at all. Everything that they say that they are. And I told Brooke, we were riding the other day in the truck, I said, you know, if somebody fails at Prime, they have to take ownership of that, because I really think that Prime gives you every opportunity to be successful. You know, sometimes people find out trucking is not for them. It's not for everyone, and sometimes people do go away. But they want you to succeed. They need us. They need us to drive for them, and they compensate us very well for it. So that's really all we have for today. We wanted to check in, let you know that we're alive and we're still rolling along out here, and trucks running strong, getting to see the country and enjoy each other, and enjoying all of you along the way too. So like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know if we can help you in any way. And Brooke, any closing comments?
Why do you always ask me that?
I know. Come on, what do you want to say?
I don't say anything.
You don't want to say anything. All right. She's just happy to be here. But this is Captain Dave and Miss Brooke. Y'all take it easy out there. Be careful on the road, and we'll be talking to you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.